more powerful fighters, or their characters are a lot faster, or their abilities can reach you from across the screen. Their Dragoons are a good example. There's a really irritating battle with them where they can kill you quickly. Sometimes these battles are also easy to lose because through certain characters dying, the battle ends. Because the AI controls these characters, expect to see a lot of game overs. It is piss poor design, as their AI is moronic. Challenge in other areas is mostly up to your job choices. Ramza has powerful abilities that serve him well throughout the game. Monks and ninjas generally make the game more manageable. This is why challenge can be a hard area to gauge. I think it is best said that Final Fantasy Tactics is as difficult as you want to make it. It should also be said that the age-old level grinding trick is no solution in difficult areas, as enemies level up with you. Replay value. Replay value is really based on the type of gamer you are. While it is true that there are an innumerable amount of ways to play Final Fantasy Tactics, it doesn't mean that you may feel the need to play it more often. I first played the game in 2004 and again for this review, so there we are. I think the game's great story almost works against it when it comes to replaying, or replayability. It is quite compelling and will make the player want to remember the game, thus not wanting to play it again for a while, long after they have finished it. It is almost as if Final Fantasy Tactics stays with you. Now on to the PSP exclusives. For the PSP version, we have some new animated cutscenes, which feature English voice acting in the US version. These are done quite well, and I was wishing they were more spread out throughout the game, as there are not enough in the final chapter, especially due to the many iconic scenes there within. There are also some new job classes, the Dark Knight and the Onion Knight. Both take a lot of effort to unlock, but are fun enough to mess around with. Balthier from Final Fantasy XII is a new hidden character. He's pretty meh. His cutscene introduction is very good though. Luzo is also new, from Grinmore of the Rift. He is very cool as his abilities are very useful, similar to Ramza. The PSP version also has a new translation, fixing many of the mistakes of the PlayStation original. Quellin becomes Kukalinia, or close to that. Algus becomes Argath, and Velius becomes Belias, or Belias. B-E-L-I-A-S, whatever. I really like this change because of the demonic references. I think I got it now, actually. It should be pronounced Belias. Yeah, I think that's it. Also new to the PSP version, Elbeth unfortunately is slowed down for many attack animations and battle actions. The creators have said that this is something the player will not notice as much after some time playing, and this is true. I would not have noticed it at all if I wasn't told about it. Also, watching videos on YouTube of the original point out the slowdown as well, so not knowing about it, I was like, oh, okay, big deal, but like I said, you can adjust to the PSP's slowdown pretty easily. Lastly, the PSP version has ad hoc multiplayer. I feel I must be honest here. I hate handheld multiplayer. This idea of requiring one copy of the game per person is seemingly unnecessary, and in some cases, the multi-features do little to justify purchasing another copy of the game. Ad hoc multiplayer requires another person in close proximity, a rare situation for many unless pre-arranged. Lame. The only time I have played handheld multiplayer is for Final Fight Advance on the Game Boy Advance. I had extra multi-cables from aborted efforts to play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on the GameCube. Everyone knows that, what that involved. So anyway, I tried it out. The game is fun enough with another player, but it seems to acknowledge it being a stupid way to play, as it gives you unlimited continues. Sounds like something Battletoads on the NES could. See the angry video games nerds video on Battletoads for some good humor and interesting dialogue. It's funny. Back to multiplayer. The new multiplayer modes are not worth the effort. You can battle against each other for experience. Thankfully, no characters can die as a result. Also, there is Rendezvous mode, which involves two players completing quests together. I am told this is great for getting rare items and weapons, but it doesn't justify the setup complexity. Wikipedia describes the multiplayer as such. In competitive play, opposing teams may place traps onto the battlefield, and these traps are hidden from the opponent. To ease identification, teams are assigned colors. The battle ends after a set number of rounds, and the team with the most remaining HP is declared the winner. The winner may then retrieve an item randomly generated from treasure chests. This sounds well thought out, but I wouldn't go through the effort to try it.
In summation, Final Fantasy Tactics tries out a new type of genre for Final Fantasy and succeeds rather well. It should be said that the tactics aspect of this is a bit misleading, due to the way in which you can build your characters. If you use the right combinations, very little tactics or strategy is necessary to win battles, unlike, say, the Fire Emblems or Strategy or Shining Force series, this game's genre predecessors. Final Fantasy Tactics is really more like a different take on Final Fantasy than an evolution of the turn-based strategy game, but it is still a very enjoyable mod of Final Fantasy. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Pizza power!